The OG crew's back on Born Offside. We talk local football, everything from that Sydney derby to NPL players making their name in the A-League. Then we go overseas with Italy, dominating UEFA competitions. Kim Kardashian and Digga D, giving the D to a Premier League footballer's misses. We're going way offside today. You expect it. See you then. Hello. Welcome to Born Offside for another week. The OG crew is back. OLANTEKKERS with his moon boot on, recovering slowly. Kat is here fresh from El Clasico and wearing the merch. Guys, we've got to talk about it. We will talk about El Clasico morning. What is it? Is it still the biggest game in football? It feels a little bit different. No Messi, no Ronnie.
I was looking at when I was watching the highlights this morning. I didn't wake up like Kat did, but it didn't feel as big. But it's still a Clasico.
It's still always worth a watch.
Just, I think without Messi in it, it's just like
it loses something
a little bit.
Maybe
just a little.
In Spain, it's still such a big deal as well.
Yeah,
but I think when it's a top of the table clash, it makes it a lot better too.
Yeah.
Like when Barca was going through their mid-table moment, it wasn't as big.
Yep.
But now that they are fighting for the title, I think it's still as big as it was.
Well, you were down there in Sydney watching it at an event, so you had a lot of people around watching it, and that pretty much seals the title, right?
Yeah.
It's 12 points now. It's game over. Barca,
lead's
well
too big.
deserved.
Look, it was a great goal to win it in stoppage time.
Yeah.
We love a goal.
Ooh, 95th or something, wasn't it?
92nd, I think.
Okay.
But there was like 5 minutes stoppage time. Look, it was pretty close. A lot of attempts from Barca early on. And then I think Real Madrid kind of were leading the way for a little while, but then there was that offside call too.
Yeah, it was dubious.
Yeah, which
But
we
spoke
discussed
about.
how you
We
felt
spoke about.
about that one.
I'm not gonna.
You've got a Barca kit on right now.
I'm wearing a Barca kit at the moment because it's pink and I like it. But not because I was back in Real this morning. I'm not gonna lie, I was back in Real this morning because I love King Carlo Ancelotti and I wanted more of a title race. Purely because I'm a neutral in Spain. I don't really care who wins.
Yeah.
I just like a title race. Whereas now it's over.
I do agree with that. It
Yeah.
would have been nice to see them a little closer together at this point of the season. But you know what? I am a Barca fan at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, you are. You did live there. Let's see how it goes. They could get all their points taken away anyway for bribing referees. So watch this space.
That would be hilarious.
That would be pretty
Spanish
funny.
Football.
Yeah,
You
that
never
would be
know what you're gonna
pretty
get.
funny. But the new camp is a sight when it's packed. So that was nice to see.
Spotify
camp or something.
Spotify Camp Nou.
Did you see the Rosalia partnership?
I was happy about that because I like Rosalia.
Me
She's a
too.
vibe.
She's
so when I
cool.
saw they had the Rosalia on the jerseys, I was like, at least I'm happy for her. You know what I mean? Anyway,
It's nice.
a lot of people writing in about Sydney Swans and their newest signing, OLANTEKKERS.
That announcement was hilarious. If you have not seen it, go to his Instagram and look at the collab post with Swans.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
OLANTEKKERS is now, he's a man of the people, right?
Pledge my allegiance to the Swans.
To the Swannies.
I came up with the whole concept. I'll take full responsibility.
Yeah. Well, people are asking, right? Olan, we love the Swans choice. Olan's thoughts on Sydney Swans winning off the back of his announcement. Now, there's a bit of a trend here. To be fair, Swans made the final last year.
Yeah, they did make the final.
So, you know. But there is a trend that the teams you pick tend to then go well after that. Wanderers were on a great run. Para had a great run last year.
Yes.
Swans now could be in for a title. Why Swans?
Why Swans?
You're a Western Sydney fan.
Yes.
You're a Para fan.
Listen,
Why not GWS?
People saying I should have gone GWS, but you lot forget, I'm not from here. I can support who the hell I want. If you lot want to go back to technicalities, I'm from England. So I can pick North Melbourne if I want to. No one can tell me shit. Do you know what I mean? Just because I've decided to come into the West and maybe, that's where I pledge most of my allegiance to in other sports, doesn't mean I have to support GWS. But for me, I think I just wanted to support a team that I thought like I would... there's no easy way to go down this way. Okay. But I just thought it'd be better for me to support
the
them.
team that would give me the most. I think that's what he's trying to say.
No. That's not what I'm trying to say.
You saw Buddy Franklin and them storming the pitch last season and said, I want a piece of that.
Yeah, you see Olan
It was a good market
caviar.
It was a good marketing move. But no, at the end of the day, to be honest, GWS didn't actually reach out to me to say anything.
Yeah, fair.
So
they didn't do anything.
The people that actually contacted me was Swans and Collingwood.
Collingwood were keen, eh?
Collingwood were probably really keen, so they wanted to fly me out there and talk and all of that. But Swans, actually, I think the lady Michelle was just like so good with me. So
there you go.
You know what makes sense.
There you go.
You
He's
want to go where you wanted.
He's committed. And they've asked, with Buddy Franklin suspended, will we see Tekkers out for the Swans? Looking at his moon boot that's on at the moment,
Listen,
I don't think he will be.
I don't think I'll be back for a long time. But when I'm back, I will be maybe kicking some goals in there.
I reckon that'll suit you more than rugby league. Because I've seen you attempt rugby league.
No, you ain't seen me.
I saw that try where you signed for Para Eels and your head hit the ground before the ball.
Listen, that was the excitement.
Whereas AFL's got a lot of kick into it. I feel like it'll suit you more.
AFL's got more. But this is why I love how football just translates to everything, because especially the technique that they use in AFL is a lot like how we hit the ball, obviously, in football. So it'll be interesting to take
it a crack.
Yeah, to give it a crack.
And it's a different pace as well. Yeah.
It's a lot more running though, isn't it?
It's a lot of
That
running.
field is massive. That field
You
is
don't
so big.
realize how big it is until
yeah.
you.
No,
I mean,
it looks massive.
Yeah,
It looks. They have to be so fit.
We've heard that before. Should we, let's go to some A-League news. Let's go to some local football, shall we?
Hell, Claudes.
Let's go to Olan's team, Western Sydney Wanderers, with a massive statement to the other side of Sydney,
do we
to the
have
rest
to,
of the
or-
league. Kat,
Yeah.
You
all your
guys
teams
Sydney FC
lost,
fans?
or Barca won? But
well, up until Barca winning this morning, I've
rest
had
of your
an
teams.
absolutely horrific week.
yeah, the rest of your teams are shit. And Sydney got hammered 4-0 at home.
I know.
Good crowd, great atmosphere. Wanderers took it completely. Look, it's too close to the end of the season.
Yeah,
Sydney are
I mean-
holding on to the finals somehow. Do they even deserve to be there, Kat?
Look, I don't know how they've stayed where they are on the table. I don't feel like
It doesn't feel like a final season, does it?
It doesn't.
No.
I think we'd be very lucky to scrape into finals,
Yeah.
but I guess that's just the way the season works, right?
That's
It's so weird that you can make finals.
It's the beauty of Australian
and
football,
then
isn't it? It's weird.
ultimately, like, you could win
Yeah.
finals
Yeah.
after coming sixth the
Yeah.
entire season or whatever.
Part of me thinks Sydney FC don't deserve it. Part of me would like to see them scrape in and then get Wanderers one more time in the finals. I feel like after that
No.
carry on, that would be pretty funny to see what happens next. 12 on Twitter has tweeted in and asked you, will or should Steve Corica be sacked? Should he be sacked, Kat? Or should it be like a
No.
nice, friendly, thanks
no,
for
I
everything?
think it's that.
Yeah.
He's too
What's the
embedded
difference?
in the...
Well, you know,
Mutual termination or
end of the
so-
season, I've had a great
he
run.
just
Make it look
goes.
like he's leaving.
Okay. I
Well,
got
would you rather the para dropped you or they said, hey, Ola?
You know, end of the season.
I think
Doesn't
we've
make a
just-
difference.
Are you
Pe-
sure?
People know
What actually happened?
what actually
No.
happens. You know what I mean?
think it's a legacy
It's like when people
thing,
break
though.
up and you ask him, like, who broke up with who? Oh, it was mutual. No,
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't.
No, it was
Yeah,
never
It's
mutual.
never mutual.
Yeah,
Someone
exactly.
wanted it more.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
People know this. It doesn't. I get what you guys are saying. Like, it'll be more respectful and stuff. But if a person leaves after a period of time or whatever, people know like he didn't leave because he wanted to leave. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe he does want to leave, and maybe you get to the point in your career where the results aren't coming. You're not sure what to change. The team needs a refresh,
Yeah. I mean, it was...
so you just agreed to disagree.
Sydney, what was odd was Sydney didn't actually play that bad. Wanderers just
Yeah.
tactically got it right and took all their chances, and on the counter-attack looked so good.
And nothing converted for Sydney. at
Nothing
all.
converted for Sydney. And that Layuni got 2 goals and an assist on his first derby.
Bro, whoever recruited this guy, he's
Yeah.
only on loan from us. He's
Yeah.
only on loan to us. But
Yeah.
I think from the first week I saw him play, I was like, this guy like is actually like he looks like straight away he slotted in. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's very, very good technically on the ball, 1v1 dribbling. He's good, and he just looks like he's ready to take on the next level, man. He's good.
Yeah, crazy. A-League's heating up now going into the finals because Melbourne City are still the benchmark, but Adelaide look good. Wanderers look good. Wellington had a bit of a hiccup, but they do look quite good. MacArthur Bulls got a point, finally. They've been looking pretty shit recently, but that was good to get a draw against City. Jason Romero scored. MPL, man.
MPL product, man.
This is showing something, Olan, doesn't it?
We've said this, man. The gap between the MPL and the A-League is smaller than people think it is.
Yeah.
He slotted right in there and scored a goal. Is that his debut or?
That wasn't his debut, but it was his first goal.
goal.
And it was a brilliant setup as well from Toure. Great counter-attack, so that was a great point for them. Melbourne Victory also stunned everyone with a big win as well. Great goal from Bruno Fornaroli. No one in the crowd at Victory. See how empty that was?
I saw some social stuff.
Yeah, no good.
Very quiet.
What's going on there?
The
Where are the
clubs,
fans?
they got no cash. They had that problem with Melbourne City in the derby.
Yeah, I mean, like the Victory fans
come
come
and
under a
laugh.
bit of
Did the
fire.
active support get
band.
banned or disbanded? Did that happen?
I think they disbanded.
I don't
I,
know.
saw
They
them post
disbanded?
that they
Was
were...
that right, Shebs?
But they also weren't allowed in stadiums for a period of time. But that's expired.
That's
now,
expired
right?
now.
They,
I think, you know, when you
So
piss
the
they
fans are just
technically could be there.
So they're just not showing up now.
Yeah.
No, better things to do. Yeah.
Clearly.
You know what I mean? Better things to do on a Sunday.
Who knows what they're doing?
Yeah, who knows? But the A-League is heating up, and the A-League women's as well. 1 game to go after this week. Is that correct?
we've
1
only-
game to
it's
go?
a 20-week season. So
Yeah, 1
I'm
game to
pretty
go.
sure.
And then a short finals. Only 4 teams make the finals in the women. So
Yeah.
that's really heating up. Good to watch some of those girls that are playing for positions because there's been injuries in the Matildas. So some of those girls are playing for positions.
So many injuries. But
Yeah.
look, it's good to see the likes of, a Courtney Vine proving that you can play A-Leagues and make
And make
international football.
and make
Like,
the
it's
Matildas,
not
yeah.
necessarily you have to do the Remy Simpson thing or the Ellie Carpenter thing and go overseas. And like, there is opportunity within Australia as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys saw, there was another point issue with the table
Okay.
for the women's league.
Well, they're taking
So
more
I don't-
points away.
You remember
Given
last
Sydney FC.
time there was the Sydney FC
Yeah.
issue with Canberra United,
Yeah.
and then Sydney moved to the top of the table. Well, the same thing just happened to Brisbane Roar
Okay.
against Western United.
Okay.
And Brisbane Roar
Played a player that shouldn't have played?
they played a player that had exceeded like their yellow cards.
Oh, how do you get that
What?
wrong,
That's
bro?
a basic
this
error.
is my question, because
It's a basic error.
we asked this on the show on Saturday of Grace Gill, who's a Canberra United legend, and we were like, how do you lose track of your cards like
Literally,
that?
a manager just has to tally it.
Personally, I never, like, I didn't receive enough cards that I would lose count. But we know that it was one of the players on the Brisbane Roar side.
Yeah.
She'd exceeded her yellow cards.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have played that game,
Yeah.
got subbed on.
Yeah.
Who's keeping track?
Yeah, that's poor.
We don't
That's
know.
so bad.
That's just poor management.
But it put Western United back to the top of the table.
Yeah, right.
So it's shaken the season again.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not really what you want to be seeing at this
No,
point in the season,
no, it's-
especially when it comes from like.
They need to hire an admin officer, these clubs,
Yeah.
just to keep track of the cards.
You ever lost track of your cards?
Nah.
Well, the club looks after that. I've
Yeah,
never
like
even
you,
had
the
to.
club will literally tell you, even at NPL level,
Yeah.
like if you're on 5 yellows, like you're out next. Like everyone,
Yeah.
everyone knows.
Or you always
Or
know.
you even
always,
know yourself.
You
like-
always know when you're on 4 because
Yeah.
you time your 5th for like a mate's birthday.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me you
that
haven't
is
done that.
exactly what you
Tell
do.
me you haven't done that.
That
You-
is
Oh,
like
that's
non-league
amazing.
to a T.
That you
Like,
time it like you want a little trip away, like something's on all the F1s in Melbourne. Better get my 5th yellow. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There you
it's,
go.
it's
Neymar style.
100%.
Hope my coach isn't listening. Women's World Cup though, FIFA scrapped the Visit Saudi sponsorship.
We were speaking about this last week, weren't we?
Yeah, we were saying that they were going to. They ended up scrapping it. We put it out to our followers. 79% say it was onside. They agree with the decision to scrap it. Although Antonio Rosina tweeted in, "Take the bag and invest that money into women's football."
Exactly what I said, bruv.
Yeah,
You did say
Exactly what I
that.
said. So take the bag. You need it.
yeah.
So,
So
what,
it doesn't matter where the money's coming from.
It doesn't at this day and age. Like, come on, it doesn't really matter where the money comes from. Otherwise, Man City wouldn't be.
True.
Yeah, but
there would
you
be no
can
Man City.
Tell me at least that you can see why they struggle with the whole concept of Saudi investment
Yes.
when
Okay.
women can't even play football there.
Yes,
Okay,
I do get that
Yeah.
wholeheartedly, but at the same time, I still think like,
It doesn't mean we're not open to Arab investment,
yeah,
but maybe from a slightly more progressive country.
got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see both sides.
So do I.
I see both sides because money's money,
Yeah.
and they're not telling you what to do with the money. So if you can get cash from someone and use it for good,
Yeah.
I do also see that side. It's a tricky moral dilemma. You mentioned Canberra before. They've been kind of soft, informally announced into the
Yeah.
A-League. Canberra and
Yes.
Auckland.
Yeah.
Wasn't an official launch.
No, it's so they've
Didn't
basically
we tweet
opened
out
up.
something?
Yeah.
We tweeted out. How did we have this information? by the way?
Ooh.
Shabsy.
Can't
Shabsy.
reveal how we had that information, but I believe Born Offside was first to the
Yeah,
table.
yeah. I saw that tweet by us.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting because they didn't do the classic bidding kind of.
No.
Clubs can bid to join the A-League
They've done that
extension.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was we're going to go look at kind of every market and work out who is the most suited to joining or to being part of this
That's really
extension.
good, actually.
So they've looked at Auckland obviously as part of that like Kiwi extension.
Love
Which
that.
I think also means we need to look at the players and the visa situation and like Kiwi players should be seeing the same.
There's a lot of
As
problems here,
Aussies,
yeah.
right? There's a lot of problems here.
Yeah,
so
because Kiwi players, technically, if you're playing in Australia and even though in the NPL, you're technically seen as a visa player.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
But
Which
if
is
we're going to have
insane.
a league that includes two
yeah.
clubs from New Zealand, we need to change that.
Yeah, what's
agree.
crazy about this, right? So we put that out to our fans. 80% agree with the decision for these two clubs. Everyone seems pretty happy about
Yeah.
it. Canberra makes sense because they've already got a women's team.
Who 15 years, like the club's 15 years old.
Yeah, they're
the women's
old,
team,
right? They've
and
got the colours, they've got the crest,
they've
everything's
got
there.
the strongest fan base in all of the Liberty A-Leagues. as
Right.
well.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. It's that club is actually run and owned by the association down there.
Yeah.
So technically,
Capital something.
Capital Football.
Capital
Right.
Football.
So what makes that interesting is like now, is this A-League club also going to be owned by Capital? Do they have to now purchase it off them? So there's still a little bit to go through there. You got some inside work.
We spoke to someone who works for. She's a former CEO, I believe, of
Right.
Capital Football
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
and the fact that they've clearly not opened up to having a male team before. and whether or not they're actually capable of taking on the challenge. And I think the idea is that they do have the capacity to kind of run it, but they need that investment to come
it's
from
25
somewhere
million.
else. Yeah, 25 million. But they need that to come from somewhere.
Exactly.
And
so
then whether or not they adopt
it could be
the
a whole
same-
new Canberra. It could be Canberra.
It doesn't
Lions.
have to be Canberra
It doesn't
United.
have to be Canberra
Yeah.
United, which is the tricky thing. Same with Auckland. Auckland City are a historic club. They always make the Club World Cup because they win the
What was the club
Oceania.
called?
Auckland City.
Auckland City.
Right, they're always winning and they're quite well known. But will they be promoted?
Yeah.
Well, they're privately owned, so someone's going to have to pay for it. So it's still very tricky. Here's the other problem I heard. New Zealand technically aren't in the AFC. They're not part of Asia.
Oh, really?
So what I heard is that the A-League, to add another New Zealand team, need to get permission from the AFC, Asian Football Federation, to add another team from outside Asia.
Oh, wow.
Because think about it. Like,
Yeah.
technically there's going to be
So
money and investment bettering Oceania football.
Is that the
Yeah, they're
cut-off then of Asia? Is
Australia just jumped in 2007.
That's so weird.
So after we made the World Cup in 2006, we jumped into Asia. We used to play against like Solomon Islands, Vanuatu.
Yeah.
Like, that was our World Cup qualification. 31-0 against American Samoa. We joined Asia,
Yeah.
and New Zealand are still not. So that's why it's a bit tricky.
That's so crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're so similar.
Because that's
and
like saying
not.
saying Ireland's not part of.
UEFA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's like you're right
it's
there.
like they play against Greenland and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so weird to me.
Yeah. Mental.
Insane.
Mental. But anyway, let's hope they fix it up. Let's hope they sort it out, because the latest thing we heard is that they're going to be expanding to more teams, and that's what Kebabdo. Like your name. Kebabdo's written in. A Tasmanian team would be nice too. Hobart. And I have heard that apparently, so there's 2 teams coming in 2024, and they want 2 more in 25. There's 4 teams running for that. Wollongong is one that's
Love
running
that.
for it. But
I'd love to see Wollongong in.
Frenchie will be happy.
I think they're going to opt for second division. It's a lot cheaper for them, and I think they're going to opt for that and see how they
Do
go.
we know when the second division officially? Because we know the teams. I saw the teams that have officially put in their bids and
32
stuff.
of them. Yep.
Do we know when that's going to be? Like those teams are being finalised.
Well, June, July, they're supposed to cut it right down, because the aim is
really?
to start next year.
Wow.
But I'd question whether they're going to be able to do that. But there is word that a Tasmanian team is headlining a bid for 2025 A-League.
Love that.
Which would be great if we can get a team in Tasmania. Second Brisbane team as well. So
And also that they have to have a women's side as well.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tasmania is just like, you always forget about Tasmania. You ever been?
I've never been.
Yeah.
I've never been either.
Did you know about Tasmania?
It's not top of the list, is it?
The only thing I know about the Tasmania is the Tasmanian devil. It's technically he's extinct, right? The show on.
From Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, it's extinct. Isn't it extinct? It is extinct.
What do you mean? It's not
Tasmanian
extinct.
devils are still around.
They're still around. I've seen them at the zoo.
I thought
They
were
might be on the
extinct.
brink.
They're the big motherfuckers that look slow, but they're quick. That's Tasmanian devil.
They're kinda
I'm
scary.
thinking, I'm thinking of Komodo
These
dragon.
things. Wait, what do you think? These things can.
Claudes knows ball, not animals.
Wow. Yeah. No.
I don't know
No,
why
no,
I
no,
laughed.
they're
I just
black.
didn't know what he was going to say.
They're black with like really aggressive
Oh,
faces.
Yeah.
Are they extinct? Tasmanian
Oh,
tiger's extinct.
yeah, those are
Yeah, these things.
extinct.
I just remember, because I'm a David Attenborough kind of guy. So
Yeah.
I used to Google all this sort of stuff, YouTube clips. David is the best. We're talking about animals. I'm into animals.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Not in that way?
Yeah. But
That's pretty weird. Is that bestiality? Is that what it's called?
We're not going there. We're absolutely
Is that
not
what it's
going
called?
there.
Is that what it's called?
bestiality.
Bestiality, you crazy
disgusting.
motherfucker. But yeah, it would be good to see Tasmania playing football.
It would be. It would be. My friend moved from Queensland to Hobart to play in the NPL there.
I hope the cash was all right.
I don't know,
You know what? I think
but he
this
enjoyed the
is the thing
experience.
about NPL, right? And a lot of these NPL leagues that people don't know about. So obviously, NPL in New South Wales and Victoria, like people we go, oh yeah, money's decent there. But in Adelaide and like places like that, because they don't get that many good players, they'll be whacking out cash to these players.
Yeah.
Like these players in Adelaide or Tasmania might be on way more than someone would be on at like a mid-table team in NPL 1 because they don't get players like
It's a bit
that.
harder to get them to move to those cities.
Yeah. So we forget.
Is this your way of telling us that you've signed with Hobart?
Yeah.
Nah.
Because they offered you
cold
a
down
big
there, bro.
water cash.
I'm waiting for Preston Lions to send in a request. Move to Melbourne for them.
Let's swap the local footy and let's go overseas now. We're going to talk a little bit of UEFA competitions because the draw happened on Friday
You're
night.
loving this.
I do like this. I do like this a lot because Italy are bossing Europe at the moment. Finally.
Napoli.
Put some respect on the Serie A, mate. You got Inter, Napoli, AC Milan are all still in the Champions League. Juve, Roma, Fiorentina are also still in Europe. So Italy have the most teams still playing in Europe. Champions League draw. What do we think? All on one side.
We got Madrid, don't we?
Well, Real Madrid, Chelsea. Real Madrid, Chelsea, City, and Bayern are all on one side of the draw. Meaning they're going to play each other in the semi as well.
Jesus. This is where it
And
gets-
on the other side, you've got AC Milan, Napoli, Inter, and Benfica.
That's that sounds like a fix.
Why?
That
Why?
sounds like
I
clubs,
love
right?
that we
Why did
won't
they put
see
all
a
the-
City Real Madrid final. Like, I do not want to see that.
Yeah. I want a Napoli. I don't really care who they play in the final. I mean, Napoli, Chelsea, you
I
reckon?
love that you had the option of saying Chelsea and you didn't.
No, like I could, but I'm being realistic here. I could see Chelsea doing a job on Real Madrid. I could see
I
it.
don't.
But then,
I
it's
think
hard.
what
Now that Real Madrid are out of
what
the league
game
as
was
well.
it that Reece James got his fucking absolutely ruined? Was it against Vinicius?
yes, last year.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. In the
So
second
this
leg.
is not looking good, bruv.
Nah,
Good
she's
luck,
not
good
looking
luck.
good.
And
Especially,
Vinicius is one of the best wingers in the world.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
1v1. I don't think anyone can really. Haven't really seen anyone lock him up properly
nah.
And Chelsea are not in the state to
to.
deal with that right
Well,
now.
both teams, I mean, Chelsea are well and truly out of everything. Real Madrid are now out of the title race. So it'll be interesting to see if those two will probably throw everything at
Yeah.
this
True.
game.
100%.
So it'll be very interesting. City Bayern is another interesting clash up as well. Pep Guardiola against his old club. But I'm looking at the other side of the draw. Napoli, Milan, and Inter, all there, 3 Italian teams. And Benfica, don't write them off. The Porcos have been pretty good. Will Napoli win the Champions League, being on the easier side of the draw? Jackson Weeby, mate, you don't just win the Champions League. It doesn't matter who you
It doesn't
play.
happen like that.
You know, it's every game's hard.
He was at El Clasico with me this morning.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. There you go.
There you go.
That's all you got to say
That's
about
all
that.
I've got
Okay,
to say.
great. Thanks for
Lovely
that.
guy.
Thanks for that, Kat.
What were we on?
Will Napoli win?
Will Napoli win the Champions League at this point?
And
But
that
I do
that
think they're
OnlyFans
seriously-
model will do the bus.
Yeah,
the
if Napoli win the
naked
Champions League,
bus
titties,
tour.
remember that?
Oh yes, you know what? I do think.
Did you say titties?
Yeah, she said she's
the
going to
the OnlyFans girl. I do think Napoli are seriously underrated
Unbelievable. Eh?
because
Are they underrated
No,
at
because
this point?
people are
though?
starting to rate.
People
people
are
are starting to
talk
rate
about
them, but it's like taken this long. But
Yeah.
how long have you been screaming about Napoli for?
Yeah, yes. I mean, they've been so good since the start
Yeah,
of the season.
so it's only now that people are starting to be like, oh wait, Napoli is one of the best teams in
Yeah,
Europe.
true.
Well, there was a rumor. So they picked up Kvaratskhelia for 10 million euro. You like that one?
How do you say
You
his
like
last
that
name?
one? You can't like that one.
It's how good you are at saying it.
I don't even know if I get it completely correct, but they
All
signed
the
him for
Georgians in the chat.
all the Georgians hit me up. They signed him for 10 million at the start of the season. The rumor is PSG could be tabling a 180 million euro
Not
offer.
180.
Those are-
180 million
In
euro
1
offer.
year, your
Now
market
that, my
value has gone up.
friend,
That's
is an
that's
ROI
investment.
if I've ever
Yeah,
heard one.
yeah.
That's investment.
Wow.
I know. And imagine
I used to-
Osimhen as well. They could sell the two of them for
I used
300
to
million.
invest in
Osimhen's
players'
killing it
stocks.
Yeah.
Is
I
that a
know.
thing you can do?
Man,
You
that's
can, there is an app. There's an app where you can invest in a player's stock.
think about it. That could be the
There
future.
is.
That could be the future.
I don't know what it's called, but if you're listening and you know which app it is, please write in. But there's an app where you can invest in a player's stock, and if their stock rises, you get money from it. I'm
That'd be
pretty sure.
interesting, wouldn't it?
I think why
It
not?
sounds like that would
A
exist in the
public-
metaverse.
A player goes public.
Yeah.
There is. You
That's
can,
pretty-
you can
Player
invest
stock
shares
market.
into a player.
You'd be spewing if you invest in like Dele Alli or something like that, you know?
Oh,
But
you'd
like
be
this is where you got to
spewing.
pick
You
your
were happy
investments.
for like one season.
Yeah, you got to pick your investments. Europa League League's looking good, man. Europa League hasn't looked this good. It's like, you know, that girl you completely forgot about at school. You thought, oh, braces, it looked like the M5 tunnel, that mouth. But then, a couple years later,
She turns out to be a worldie,
turns out to be an absolute stunner.
and you're happy that you were nice to her back in the day. 'Cause
That-
you-
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I know
That's
what
the
you're talking
Europa League. Because the Europa League is looking
about.
good.
This look good now.
Look at this. Man United take on Sevilla. Juve Sporting. Bayer Leverkusen, who just beat Munich on the weekend, are playing Union Saint-Gilloise. Is that how you say the name in Belgium? Don't know how they got through, but they beat Union Berlin.
Wow.
And Feyenoord play Roma, which let me tell you right now, that's going to be fiery because they played in the Conference League final last year and their fans are both mental. Last time Feyenoord went to Rome, they trashed the city. Like
Far
they
out.
smashed the city up. So that one, like, keep an eye on Feyenoord versus Roma. Jose Mourinho, that's going to be interesting.
These fans, I tell you, in
But European
Europe,
fans are different.
it's the Eintracht fans
Yeah.
that went to Napoli.
Yeah, and trashed
Well,
it.
And the
What's with trashing Italian cities?
But also, the Italians were like, we're not selling any away tickets. They said, do not come.
Yeah.
We don't have we cannot deal with your behavior.
Yeah.
They still came.
Yeah, they still, of
They
course they
still
can.
came.
They're mental, man. European fans are crazy. Did you ever do an away day?
In England?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, all the time.
But you never went out of England.
Nah,
You never did like a European away day.
No,
or
no.
something?
I'm trying to think. The Fiorentina one wasn't. That was technically away.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
technically
yeah.
away.
Yeah,
But it was all pre-season, so like fans don't really
yeah.
care that much in pre-season.
Yeah.
Did you ever go when you lived there, like to a Chelsea away game for one of these championships?
Nah, because I was always every Saturday I would be playing. So it's so hard to like go to a Premier League game if you're a semi-pro footballer because you're playing.
I feel like Champions League would be next level experience.
Yeah, going with like a crew away from home, staying at a hotel, like the rest of the city hates you. Like traveling as an away fan continentally would be absolutely sick. Conference League is around as well if anyone cares. Ghent play West Ham, Basel, Nice, Lech Poznan taking on Fiorentina, and AZ Alkmaar. Matty Ryan is still in there as well. They knocked out Lazio. The only Italian team that did get knocked out was by Matty Ryan. Did you see that photo of Matty Ryan in the change room?
No, what was he doing?
Bro.
What is he ripped?
He is fucking jacked.
About time you brought up a man instead of talking about all these women. And
when do
what do you mean?
What the fuck are you
We
talking
always
about?
discuss
look at this,
men.
Look at this OnlyFans model.
Oh, come on,
Show
Kat.
me-
Give
show me
it
Matty
up.
Ryan.
You got to talk
Show
to
me
Shabzy
Matty
about
Ryan.
that. Shabzy,
Give it up.
Shabzy's
Look
one that
at the
puts it in
size
there.
of Matty Ryan.
Wow.
He looks
When did
jacked.
he
Just
get
quickly,
this-
before I give it to you, Kat, Jesus. Look at that.
Jeez.
Kat just tried to
When
yank
did
the
he-
phone out of my hand.
Yeah,
Chisel.
pass
Fucking
it,
calm your
pass it
farm.
over. I am
He's
calm.
chiseled. Look at the size of his
When
just...
did he get those tats? Has he always
Oh,
had
we
those?
know she's a sucker for
here
the
we go.
tats.
Oh,
isn't she?
stop it.
Oh,
Jesus.
you literally just put yourself in that because
You're
we were
a
talking
sucker
last
for
week
that.
I
about
did do that
tats.
to
What's
myself.
with you and the tats? Look at the size of him and you're looking at the tats.
Yeah, exactly. Cat loves tats.
Jeez, he's thick.
Whoa.
He's thick. Hey, look at him.
Pause.
He's thick, bro.
Pause.
Have a look at him. He's
not
abs.
really thick. He's
He's-
chiseled.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's also on the side of the photo, which is always enlarges you.
You're saying fisheye lens
A little bit.
was used in the photo.
What if you're like you're on the side?
You get
You-
warped.
As a female, you never want to be on the end of a photo because you
Why?
always look bigger. Than the
Really?
rest.
Is that a thing?
It's totally a thing.
Yeah.
Girls, if you're
That's why
listening,
I put you
know
two on
what
each side of the couch.
Oh, okay.
You know?
That makes sense.
So I stay nice and lean in the middle.
Yeah,
That's why. We'll design in
and
the show.
lean in the middle,
Olan's trying to study that rig.
I was-
You had a go at
I
me.
was
He got
zooming
him
in
way
it-
closer than I
zooming
did.
in.
No, he's a proper
Package.
tank, Maddie.
Yeah.
He's a proper tank.
What a guy.
It's good to see. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, he's still in the Conference League, so that would be nice. Speaking of people who got nice shape, Kim Kardashian was...
I told you.
What?
No, I'm joking.
I
I'm
saw,
joking.
I
I'm
saw
joking.
this.
Kim K's got a nice shape.
Yeah, she's not
For
good at
age.
picking football teams, though.
Hey? No, she's not. She's similar to Drake. She went to Arsenal last week,
And they lost it.
and they lost. She was at the Europa League game.
Did
She
you
used
see
to-
that her kids
She
were
needs to
in...
stay far away from Saka, man. Stay far away
You
from
saw that? She FaceTimed
Stay
Saka.
far away from that kid,
She
man.
FaceTimed him.
She FaceTimed Saka because her son wanted to speak to Saka.
Oh, that's cute.
But Saka, I don't think, cared too much about the son.
Yeah,
Dead.
nah,
You know, if
but
you're
stay-
Bukayo.
Everyone's saying she should stay away from him.
Do you know what I love?
We know what her
though?
track record
She'd be
is like
twice
with
his
men.
age.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
twice his age.
She's like, oh my god,
Look
my
at
kid
Kim
loves
Kardashian.
it.
Kardashian,
fucking-
let her do what she
Kat is
wants.
offside
What do you
today.
mean?
She's shrugging her
What,
shoulders.
Kim
Who
Kardashian
cares?
should be fine with Saka,
With Saka?
who's barely 20.
Jeez, Kat.
Are you serious?
Fucking what kind of cougar shit you been on?
That's disgusting.
Jeez, poor kid's trying to play football.
Yeah, he's got his whole life ahead of him.
do
She's
not
been
take me out of
done, lived
context
her
like
life.
that.
Kat,
and
bit of a cradle snatcher, but I've seen Kat
how
out and
low would
about.
you go, Kat? Since we're here,
Yeah.
We're not having this conversation.
I've seen Kat out and about, had her on.
Oi!
You know,
Oi!
breakout stars. I've seen that, Kat. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
oh,
I like them
man.
older and a little bit younger is okay sometimes too. It's personality.
21?
22
21.
at
22
least.
at
Come
least. 22 is the cutoff.
on. Only because I look 25.
You do look young.
Yeah,
You do look
you
young.
can get away with
How
it.
do we get onto this every week?
Anyway,
I always
It's
end up
Kim Kardashian.
exposing myself to some extent. What I was going to say...
you don't expose yourself. Just to anyone here, the cat is fully clothed. But
I
yeah,
am
anyway.
fully clothed. Actually, it's really hot in here.
Yeah, it is now. I bet it is. Yep.
Yeah, what
What were you going to say?
I love that Kim put her kids in Arsenal women's jerseys.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, so they were wearing McCabe and Miedemar
Yeah,
jerseys.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
I rate-
cool.
I rate
Yeah.
that.
That is cool. Which, yeah, I don't know what her whole thing is because maybe she got over the whole basketball thing. That wasn't working out for the Kardashians. She was rocking
Well,
the
that's her
Roma kit.
sisters.
Yeah, that's her
Yeah.
sisters.
But
That's
she-
That's
too.
like a Kendall
Well, she, was
Jenner
with,
thing.
she was with Reggie Bush at one point. It's
Was
NFL,
she?
yeah? And she
Yeah,
ruined him,
NFL.
and his mama didn't like her. Mama knows best.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm way too invested into the Kardashians, but she
We
was,
all are. Trust
you
me.
can't escape.
In general, I feel like this conversation's really going on.
Well, Kendall's with Bad Bunny now.
Oh yeah.
Bad Bunny.
Isn't
Bad Bunny,
Bad,
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny
I don't know
and
how
Devin
legit-
Booker, who's
Yeah.
an NBA player, are
I don't
beefing
know
now.
how you
I'm
don't
invested-
stay with Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Like-
Devin Booker's that guy.
He's gorgeous.
He's the king of the.
Really?
He's
Yeah.
the lord of the light skins, as they say.
Devin Booker good looking?
Are you serious? This guy,
that
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
He's
top-
fine.
he's top- and he's got swag too. Yeah. It's
We
that
need
guy.
to clip
don't
this
rate
up.
Devin Booker.
Clip this
He-
up with a photo of Devin Booker.
I've
seen
Just get
Devin
people to
Booker.
remind us.
No, but the thing is, he is him.
I get it.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's also like one of the best players in the NBA.
I get that.
So it makes him more attractive.
No, he's
If
super
he was
attractive.
not that,
And I watched this Architectural Digest, Architecture's Digest. You know that one where they go into people's homes and like
MTV Cribs?
no, but it's like a classy version.
Oh,
of that.
okay,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And he showed his home.
Mhm.
Stunning.
Really?
Of course, that makes him hot. I bet it does.
Yeah.
His cars and his house as well.
I didn't look at the cars.
No?
I just loved his
And his watch.
great
That
taste.
makes him attractive, doesn't it?
Has great taste.
Anyway. I'm sorry, Kat. I'm
Kardashians,
picking on you today.
Just stay away from.
Where we were getting with this was that
Famous.
Kim K went to the Arsenal game. Arsenal lost. Then she went to the PSG game. PSG lost.
Yeah.
So she's now, and she was wearing a Neymar jersey, or someone was wearing a Neymar jersey. Maybe
I'm
her
not
kid was
sure.
wearing a
Yeah,
Neymar
maybe.
jersey. Even though Neymar's out for the rest of
She's
the
just
season.
having a bit of fun in London. She was on a pub crawl as
Yeah,
well.
but I heard saw
Enjoy
that.
her.
Yeah, saw she was on the pub.
Enjoy. She's
crawl as
single
well.
at the moment, Kim?
I think
I
so.
don't know.
She is, eh?
Yeah,
she's
broke
fine.
up with
Would you
Pete.
go there, Claudes?
I mean, yeah.
Cool. Just
So
checking,
after all
'cause
this, you
guys
would
had
go
a
there
goal.
anyway.
Obviously,
Just
it's Kim
checking.
Kardashian.
So will
Yeah,
you go there for the
exactly.
clout?
Bit of everything.
What else has she got?
She's not. What do you? Oh, fuck. She's not.
She's got 3. How many kids she got?
I think she
I'm
got
not
4
saying
kids,
She
don't
got
eh?
3 kids.
Yeah.
She's
four.
how old is
Come on,
she? 45.
Come on, she's fine for her.
How old
age,
is she?
bro.
40.
She's fine for
I
her.
think
She's
she's
Yeah, but I'm
mid-40s.
saying,
She's
yeah, but I'm
mid-40s.
saying what you're gonna. So would you date a regular woman that's got 3 kids?
But we didn't say date.
No, we're not talking.
Wait, what are we talking about right now?
You
said
would you go there? Would you go there? Open to interpretation.
Oh, okay. So I thought you said would
She's
you.
42,
when
by
you,
the way.
Yeah, well, 42.
42,
I thought you said,
that's
when
not
you
that
say
bad.
would you go there, I thought it was in terms of like would you have a relationship with her?
Oh, like, you know, I'd hang out a couple times if Kim was keen,
She's got.
just to see what happens.
You have to
Anyway,
assess
That's too
the
clout chasing.
situation.
You think?
It is because we flip it on the reverse.
So if it's,
it's
but
clout
if
chasing
it's
for the woman.
Saka,
She wouldn't be
is that clout chasing because he's got he's got a
Is she clout chasing Saka?
either or?
But yeah,
Well,
you'd hang out just to see what
It's-
she's
that
like.
one is kind of mute. She's clout chasing him, but it's kind of mutually
Are
because
you
she.
telling me
I would
back
say-
when you were single?
I'd say no. I'm
That's
saying.
cap.
I'm
To
saying.
a-
no,
to
no,
a
no,
date-
no, no,
to
no.
a date
I'm
with Kim
saying.
K.
I'm saying right
Cap.
now.
Cap.
No.
Right now you have a
listen,
girlfriend. It's different.
Yeah. Okay. Right now I'm saying, but even if I was single, in terms of dating, I'd say no, bro. What am I getting out of that?
I'd go out on a date and just see what it's like.
Yeah,
I'll just have a look. Just see what she wants to know.
do it.
Yeah, anyway, this is a football podcast. Let's quickly talk about another team from London. Fulham had a very eventful FA Cup tie, 3 red cards.
Mitrovic, eh?
Yeah, and a lot of people are like Darren Bent went to Twitter.
I didn't see this one.
It was a penalty given against Willian. VAR gets involved, deems it not only that, but deems it a red card for him. 2 Fulham players, one of them being Mitrovic, then kick up a stink, and both get sent off for the reaction as well. It just ruined the whole football match. Man United go on to win it. Mitrovic making contact with the referee. But people are blowing up because Bruno Fernandes earlier this season shoved a linesman, didn't get sent off. That's what Darren Bent's saying. It's too inconsistent. I'm not even going to go
I
there.
actually agree with that, but we can move on.
Yeah, because you got to also take tempers are going to flare in that moment. It's a cup knockout competition. I'm not saying you can punch a referee in the face,
No.
but you know, a little bit of contact. Let's be reasonable here. Fulham were hard done by. What about Patrick Vieira? Sacked.
Not happy with that.
know.
I think Vincent Kompany did an interview where he explained it in full. He was like, he basically said Palace are performing higher than they were expected to anyway.
Yeah,
So even
people forgetting who they're dealing with here.
yeah,
The
it's like,
expectation.
it's like the expectation for him because he's had a run, like I think it's 5 bad games or something like that, with Zaharak also out injured, and then they sack him. It's kind of like, well, like what do you expect?
Yeah, I feel for him. I really think Patrick Vieira is a good manager.
And I think like
Yeah.
when I was starting to, it was starting to feel like when you thought of Crystal Palace, you thought of Vieira. It was like kind
We
of
just
going into
fit
that
the brand, don't
yeah,
you think?
yeah.
Well, 3
that one
games.
I really don't like that.
3 games in a row, they didn't manage a shot on target, and that was the final straw for them. But I mean, it's 3 football matches. It's really not that big in the grand scheme of things. I remember I got to interview Patrick Vieira in Perth before the season, and he was complaining more than all the other managers because he had like 12 players didn't fly to Australia. And they were like starting
Wow.
players. He's like, the season was starting in 2 weeks, and I'm missing 12 of my first team players that aren't here in Australia. It didn't sound like he wanted to go to Australia, but of course, marketing and stuff, he was forced to go.
Yeah.
So he had a really shit preseason, and you can see the effect of that. In fact, most of those teams that came to Australia, Villa was another one, took them a long time to get going this season. And Steven Gerrard ended up paying the price for it. I think a lot of those teams, Leeds, 3 out of the 4 managers, except for Man
Yeah,
United.
wow.
The other 3 managers that came to Australia in preseason all got sacked and started shit.
And in Man
That's
United,
crazy.
like, to be fair, Man United, there were many moments there where we thought that Ten
Yeah.
Hag was on the chopping block.
Was on the chopping block. It took him a while until they got rid of Ronaldo and stuff,
Yeah.
which makes me think, like, you know,
I think that preseason in not
it's
just-
dumb.
I don't think it to say it's bad, but I think when it's so far away, and it almost feels like some of the players can say no and just be like, I'm just gonna have sessions here.
And it's 2 weeks before the
It's
season.
2 weeks before the season starts.
Think about it. I'm getting too excited. Think about it. Leeds sacked the coach. Villa sacked the coach. Palace sacked the coach. United,
Almost.
Ronaldo didn't travel.
Yeah.
And remember what a drama that was. So the Australia trip turned out terribly for every team involved.
Wow. So then come to Australia.
You know what I mean? Like,
You're gonna do preseason.
come postseason, like Barcelona did.
Yeah.
I
That
think
worked
it-
for them.
yeah,
but don't
it
come
goes to show
preseason.
how important that preseason is in general as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. And that's the problem. It's like money sometimes overtakes it. Erling Haaland's a freak. Scored another hat-trick in the FA Cup. Apparently he's giving the match balls away now.
This is 40th hat trick this season or something like that.
40th hat-trick in his career, I
In his
believe.
career.
Yeah, yeah. His 6th hat-trick of the season. To put that into perspective, in the whole Premier League, there have been 5 other hat-tricks for 5 different players. He has 6.
Wow.
So he has more hat-tricks than everyone else put together
That's so
in
wild.
England.
Yeah, he's a machine.
Pretty crazy. The
He's,
ball just finds him, and he's on track to beat the record of 34 goals as well. Antonio Conte went off in his press conference.
I think he wants the club to let him go.
It's weird, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were saying
he's
this
like
earlier.
asking for it. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, what else can
Yeah.
I say?
He's
Yeah.
like, how can I get them to sack me?
You ever tried to get
That
someone
was
else to break up with you?
I
That's
think
exactly-
that's what he's doing.
You ever done that?
No, I haven't.
self-sabotage.
You ever done that?
He's like, look at the history of this club.
Yeah.
They don't win anything. Like, how can you not sack someone after they say
I
that?
know.
The blasphemy.
Yeah.
It's bad, man. And-
But it's it's also facts what you're saying. Like, you can't get onto him for being like his system not working, which I get people say he plays the same system everywhere he goes. But when Mourinho goes in there and says this couldn't fix it, everyone that's gone in there
Well, they've had top managers.
couldn't fix it. You should start to go, well, you can't
Is
just
it the
blame the
manager?
gaffers.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what
if
I
they
mean?
say if it tastes like shit, smells like shit, chances are
It's
It-
shit.
it's shit.
it
And
is
that could be
shit.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think of Tottenham? The Twitter poll, we put up a Twitter poll for this as well. Antonio Conte slamming Spurs in the press conference. 78% thought it was onside. And he had a
Wow.
point to slam Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, is it ever okay? You feel for his players, right?
If you have the reputation Conte does, you can say what you want.
Wow. He's a bit of a whinger, though. He's known for being
He is a
whinger.
bit of a whinger.
Ooh, so it doesn't come as a surprise then.
He had a famous quote when he was at, I believe it was at Inter. And he had a famous quote about budgets because he always wants to spend so much money. And they were asking him if he was going to win the league. And he goes, well, you're asking me to dine at €100 a head restaurant with €10 in my pocket. That was his thing. It's
like
like,
What a saying.
you know, and that was his thing. So he always asked for more money. That's Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
But now,
The thing is, Tottenham did get. I don't know if we don't know the behind the scenes, but remember when he first got there and we were talking about all the money Tottenham had spent to bring in all these players.
yeah,
You know, who were they his signings? We don't know, but
we don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel Scuteri has written in on Twitter, which one of the pod members would be most likely to do a Conte and slam their own pod in a press conference?
I don't think.
Slam the pod. So like say something.
Nah, I don't think I could betray Born Offside.
I don't think we could.
I think I'd just probably have to remind
Probably
everyone
Cat.
that I've said things.
Producer Shams thinks it'd be
It'd
Cat.
probably be Cat because do you know the scenario I'm gonna give?
Yeah, give it.
You could be on a all women podcast and then they're talking about men, and then you go, yeah, you know what? Actually, I've got 2 men on them, and they always, and this is how I feel. Indirectly, you've slammed us.
So you feel like I have an issue with this dynamic?
No, I don't feel like you do, but I'm saying subconsciously, if you're in
No.
like that environment,
In that environment,
you might just go. Do you know?
I
what
have
mean?
to speak to 2 stupid men every week.
Yeah.
You always make me say things. that
Yeah,
I would-
yeah.
You-
That's probably where I'm
You
gonna
know
go.
when you know anxiety, right?
Anxiety?
Everybody's gone out on a Saturday night, woken up on Sunday and said, I said too much.
Yeah.
I get that every Tuesday.
Oh, really? You're like,
You
what
just
did I-
realise
I
you
get
said
that
some
every
stupid
Tuesday.
shit on the
I'm
phone?
like, why did I say that?
Nah, you're fine. I like
Yeah, good cat. They love
we
you.
just try to lead you into traps.
I would never speak poorly about you guys.
No, okay. All right. But to answer your question, Dan, Cat. Just sticking with Italian managers, I want to say a big shout out. We're going to do a quick European wrap. Big shout out to Maurizio Sarri. He's the fucking man, right? Lazio up to 2nd place. People don't give this guy the respect he deserves. He did so well at Chelsea, won the Europa League. Probably would have won the Carabao Cup if Kepa would have come off when he asked him to come off. We remember that.
Iconic.
Iconic. Then he wins the Serie A with Juve. They sack him after winning a league, which is just ridiculous. Juve
So it
haven't
was a
got-
complete sacking.
it was a sacking.
Wow.
Yeah, after winning the league. a lot of people say Ronaldo was involved in that sacking. They got nowhere near the league after that. Now he's flying with Lazio. They're not relying on Immobile anymore. They're coming second. They beat Napoli 2 weeks ago, one of the only teams that could do that. So he's flying. Big shout out to him. And also big shout out to Dortmund, who are top of the league in the Bundesliga, even though Chelsea dusted them in the Champions League.
Yep.
What I do want to talk about, though, this is a big story. And I know you two are going to love this. Producer Shab's giggling out the back. He knows it's good. Digga D.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Digga D?
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, drill rapper in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Got some
Digga
big
D.
tunes.
Digga D's a rapper. See, I didn't know who he was. Did you know that name before?
The name rings a bell.
Drill rapper. So Digga D has fired a few shots in his new song to West Ham player Benrahma. You heard this?
Yeah, I've seen this.
Olan's all over this. Have you heard about this
Of
one?
course I'm all over this.
Because
This is
you
my
love this
culture.
shit. You love this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, it's mad.
So Benrahma is dating Digga D's ex.
Called Maya Mills.
Maya Mills?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Fit?
it's Maya Mills.
She got an OnlyFans or something?
Nah, but she's famous.
What are you fucking kissing your teeth?
She's famous for dating like rappers.
Everyone's gonna know.
She's famous for dating rappers.
There was a yeah.
Right. So she's okay. She ain't a wife though. No.
She only dates like I don't know how to describe it in our maybe like nah, not a groupie because she's like you guys know Laurie Harvey.
Yeah.
Like she only dates like Michael
She
B.
like
Jordan or Damson.
like,
Do
what
you
do
know
they
what I
call
mean?
them?
Like
Okay.
she's one of
Nepo
those.
babies? Yeah.
Like she's
You know, Nepo babies, like born to wealthy or
yeah,
famous
she's kind of one of
parents,
those.
so, like, by
But
birth.
So how does a girl park themselves in that status?
well, that status is more you're either like a OG Insta famous girl like a Demi
Okay.
Rose.
Yeah,
Is it Demi Rose?
yeah.
Like a Demi Rose, or you were born
into it.
a famous.
Okay.
Nepo baby, like your Hailey
Yeah.
Bieber's.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, okay.
That's how you
Okay.
get into that category because
That
you're
category.
already famous for nothing.
You're literally just
like Beckham's
famous for
sons.
being famous.
Yeah. See, if I was big time, right,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't date a girl that's been dating celebs. Like, why would I?
But you got to
It
think about
doesn't
it. They
seem
only
appealing.
see each other. Like that world's so weird.
Yeah,
because
they're separated from
they're
everyone
only
else.
around each other. They only go to parties. It's like us when we go. I don't know. We might go to a football event where we see. We don't
All the
just
same
see
people.
regular people that are in the
You
public.
see all the same people.
You see
Do
the
you know
same
what I mean?
people. You
It's
stick
for
in your
them-
circles. That's true. That's true.
It's a weird circle.
Anyway, Digga D's ex, right, is going out with Benrahma, and he put a line in his new song. I don't know. Do you know the tune? I don't know the tune to
I
this.
saw the freestyle.
I've just seen the lyrics, right? The lyrics is, she got a baller boyfriend. I fuck her when he goes to training.
Yeah, but no. But apparently that But I've but I've got an in. But apparently
You got an in?
No, but apparently that wasn't. He wasn't talking about Benrahma, because the next line was something like something about him playing in the World Cup, and Benrahma didn't play in the World Cup. So Digga D kind of was smart because he thought everyone was gonna go, "You're talking about Benrahma," but there was another line that it was like talking about. That guy went to the World Cup. Benrahma didn't play in the World Cup.
So he's banging someone else's missus.
So he's talking about someone else that's not Benrahma.
Oh,
Apparently.
shit.
But he knew everyone was going to go, it's Benrahma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah,
That's so
terrible.
bad.
I mean,
Also, so she changed it up. She's gone from
this is what she's
rappers
known
to
for. She's known for this.
football.
Yeah, she's known for that.
Well,
Like,
Benrahma scored last week. He's in fine form, Benrahma. So let's hope that
I'm
doesn't
happy
shake
for
his
him.
form. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't shake it. But I'm keen to find out who this could be. And-
rappers and footballers in England are so they're just it's a different level.
It is a different level. It's no good. I mean, poor guys out there trying to make a living training, and you're in there just. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Let's talk about Chelsea, right? Just a quick one. Chelsea's plan to build a £2 billion stadium. Right, so they've been talking about redoing Stamford Bridge for a long time. Todd Bowley's come in. He said, "Fuck yeah, I want it to be the best stadium in the world." Right, so he's changing the stadium. What that means, Chelsea are going to have to move out for a little bit.
Oh,
So they could go to Wembley like Spurs did.
yeah.
There's also talk they could play down the road at Craven Cottage and share it with Fulham.
I like that. I love that.
You
Fulham
prefer
stadium.
that?
I love that Fulham Stadium.
I think that's where the women play as well.
It's
Chelsea
so close.
women.
It's literally down the road.
And it's
Yeah.
proper old school, kind of like Stamford Bridge, where like the fans are on top of, like right on top of the pitch. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
everyone's got like a good view. I love that.
Yeah, just
Stadium.
Keep the. Why not? Just
Yeah.
throw it
Better than
into
Wembley, eh?
smaller. Yeah.
Better than Wembley.
Wembley's
I like
huge.
Wembley being sacred.
Yeah.
I like only seeing. I hate it when Spurs are playing there.
Yeah,
I like only seeing Wembley for cup finals, maybe semi-finals. That's about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, watch this space. We'll keep you posted. Probably not as exciting as the rapper banging the ex-girlfriend, but
Oh, it depends what you're into.
yeah, it depends what you're into. If you're into stadiums, you'd be touching yourself right now. Caleb Bora, do you reckon Joao Felix will sign a contract with Chelsea or go back to Atleti? Joao Felix.
I mean,
Love to keep him, wouldn't
if
you?
he knows what's good for him, he'll get out of there. It's shambles right
You
now.
don't like him.
Go to it.
No,
he's
not that
great.
I don't like him, but I'm saying like just where
the
Chelsea
club.
are at a club right now. Like I don't know where we're going.
So if you were him, you go back to Atleti.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Or try and get a move somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's playing quite well. He did score his first goal at Stamford Bridge on the weekend, which was positive for him. They ended up dropping that to Everton. It was a big point for Everton. Nick O'Connor, 20. Everyone's asking us about Chelsea. I don't know why everyone wants to know always about Chelsea.
Oh, I think it's
Because we're in the mud right now.
Yeah,
That's
but-
why.
I like these questions.
Do you can Chelsea make Europe next season, or is it too late? Well, I think the only way they're going to make it is if they win the Champions League, right?
Yeah,
That's the only way.
that is.
Can you imagine if after everything Chelsea win the Champions?
But you wouldn't put it past them,
You
would you?
wouldn't if there's something that we've won it before. You know, in the time where we weren't really playing that well. in the
Both
league.
times, really. Both times Chelsea looked like a shambles. I mean, both times Chelsea won the Champions League, they changed the manager during the season.
Yeah.
And that happened this season.
Okay.
So, you know.
Do you know what? I saw a tweet the other day was saying how good was life. I think it was 2 years ago. It was a year or 2 years ago, right? We just bought Lukaku.
Yeah.
Game against Arsenal.
I know the exact time that you're
Reece
talking
James
about.
scores. Lukaku scores.
Yeah.
How good did we feel as Chelsea fans?
That is when the
We were like this.
so-
It looked like
we
Chelsea
were
was going to
like,
go on.
yeah, but that's when the Reece
Is
James
this-
Trent
is this the
Alexander
new-
argument was
Yeah.
at its peak.
And we just won the Champions League as well.
Yeah, we were like, is this
Champions
the new
League Europe.
Chelsea? Are we gonna turn into like I was like, you know
Uh,
what? And then bang.
European giant.
It shows how quick things can just change in
Yeah,
football, but
that was a pivotal
Overnight.
point.
It feels like it's
Unbelievable.
overnight.
It feels like it was overnight. Next thing you know, old mate Tuchel breaks up with his missus,
Yeah.
starts to spiral. Todd Bowley comes in, Russia. It all happened. It all happened.
Happened really quick.
It happened very quick. Football life comes at
Still
you fast.
recovering.
Could be worse. Could be Liverpool, who are also out of the Champions League. Isn't that right, Kat?
It's okay. I feel like I got some kind of peace back this
From the
morning
from
the win over
okay.
Real Madrid,
Yeah.
the Barcelona win.
Really? So you
Like,
just
So you're
at
winning
the
through
point-
other teams? That's
Yes.
that's shameful.
that's just the
No,
most
that's
bandwagon
called
plastic thing I've
desperation.
ever heard.
Actually,
Support more teams so one of them
Yeah,
wins every weekend.
That's terrible.
Facts.
That's so bad.
facts.
That's so
mental
bad.
health comes first.
That's
Damn.
like, oh my god.
Okay. You're worse than Kim Kardashian. Anyway, on that note, we'll leave it there. It's been a great week of football. Now, usually, we would have a second special ep, right?
But we do have a
Well, we
session.
do have one. But usually, we would record one here, sitting on the couch. We have a
Yes.
second special. But
Shock.
we're going to treat you guys with something extra special. I'm not going to tell you who.
I'm just gonna.
We're not gonna say who.
I'm not gonna say who, but I'm gonna say it probably is the biggest. Probably is gonna be one of the biggest episodes in Born Offside history. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's probably the biggest name,
Yeah.
you'd say.
It's up there in Australian football history interviews.
Wow.
Yeah.
Australian football history interviews.
Fuck, that's
Don't you
massive.
reckon?
That's a big call.
That's pretty big.
That's a big call.
It could be because we actually when we think about
In
who-
recent
No,
history-
but think about who in Australia has interviewed this guy.
That's exactly
guy?
what I mean.
Probably. I don't think I've seen
I
it.
don't think many people have.
I don't think so. Well, anyway,
Not
this guy-
on not on Australian soil, at least.
Yeah, so we're going to be catching up with a guy who's won bucket loads of Premier Leagues. He's won the Champions League. He's played at World Cups. He's kind of a big deal. And he's a cool cat off the pitch as well. It's not just what he does on the pitch. On the pitch, especially for the position he played, he was an absolute baller. Anyone that plays that position looks up to this guy. But even what he does off the pitch, he's just a cool cat and he's just
Cool
an awesome
guy.
guy to be around. So we're looking forward to it, and that's a special that's going to drop for you guys because we love you and we look after you. So make sure you subscribe to the pod. You're following us on all socials and keeping up with all the latest. It's always been a pleasure. Olan, you're off. Where are you
I'm
going?
off to Melbourne
You're off to Melbs.
on Thursday.
Yeah.
So I won't
You
be
can't
there.
disclose any of that though.
Probably shouldn't.
Probably shouldn't. Okay. But you're doing some work that we will
Yeah.
see eventually.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Good to see. And Kat, you're hanging around. We're going to hang out with this special guest.
Yeah.
Buzzing.
It'll
Love
be
you guys.
great.
We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
So yeah.